everybody. I got neighbors with lawnmowers and motorcycles and everything else. Let me grab a headset. Maybe you don't hear all my neighbors now. So I've got a special request video to do a Wltoys, or in this case Wltoys Across. So let's get right to it. We have an Across. This version, it does not say Wltoys, it says Wltech. I really don't know what the difference is. I don't understand what I know about these. So it looks like it's called an Across, just like the Wltoys. Everything pretty much looks the same. I don't know if this is an offshoot from them, but I know that I've got these parts from, it said it was from Wltoys, and again, let's see right here, it says Wltoys, and right here it says WL Racing. So I really don't know. I don't know if it's just another company that's making these things, and they're all basically clones of each other. So anyway, I'm going to get this out of the box and we'll take a quick look at it. I'll try to show you this manual without rattling the plastic too bad. It's a 12428, so is the Pouncer. I'm going to do this I actually was going to do a different video today, but Benjamin asked me which one I recommended, this one or the Pouncer. And since I hadn't reviewed this one, I couldn't answer his question, so I told him I'd try to do this review. So I'm going to put this in front of another video I was going to do. One thing I see that jumps out at me, this one does not come with extra pinion gears, whereas the Pouncer and the Feiyu FY03 came with 3 pinion gears. One's installed on the car. They came with a 22, a 24, and a 26. I don't know what's in this one, and there aren't any extra ones in here. I looked in the box, they're not in the box. All I can say is that they're not here. I will say I see some differences. They're slight, but they are differences. This one actually has lights, LEDs, in the overheads and in the front bumper. The other one does not. This one has CVDs, metal drive shafts on the front. The rear is pretty much a clone. This one has the on-off switch on the bottom, which is not my favorite place to have that, and it does have a skid plate. I'll do a quick comparison of these after I do a run video on this. This one came with the tire already installed. It's running a pair of 18650s in a battery pack. Same setup as the Pouncer. So for all practical, it's even got the same tires on it. And as far as I can see, pretty much all these parts are interchangeable. This little bit of slack that's in here is also in the Pouncer. The only real thing that's jumping out at me, this one for the drive shaft has it has CVDs. The Pouncer has U-joints. It's got the same telescopic drive shaft, but the Pouncer has U-joints instead of the CVDs. So I'll throw a battery in this. That's the only thing really sticking out in my head at this point. I see it's towed out just a little bit, but the tie rods are on the back, so they can probably be stretched a little bit. It's not towed out as bad as the A959 or the A979, but it's still towed out. That makes it a little bit more difficult to control. I'll do a quick run video on this and see what it looks like. I should probably mention the radio. Takes 4 AA's. I'll throw 4 AA's in there, and I've already got a battery charged up for this. The control, yeah, it's a plasticky little control. It says it's got 4 modes of operation. I'll have to see what those are. Actually has a on and off switch labeled on and off, and then you've got the throttle trim and the steering trim up here. I don't see a reverse unless that's what these mode switches are for. I'll look at that real quick. You have to love the manuals. It says turn left the steering wheel of the car will turn left. Turn left angle can be adjusted by the degree of wheel twisting. Interpret that as it has proportional steering. One good thing I will say, this has it came with actually a USA version charger, which most of the ones I've received lately have all had European chargers. So this one is one step ahead. You don't need to use an adapter to charge it. The other thing, it says it here that it has a 540 motor. I don't see where it says what number of teeth are in that pinion gear. I'm going to assume it's a 24 tooth. If I find anything different than that, I'll let you know. But it does not at this point. I haven't been able to find the number of teeth in there, so without taking the car apart, I really don't have any idea. So now I'll go put the batteries in the remote and we'll give it a test drive. Turn on the radio, turn on the car, and I got nothing except a beep. Yeah, we'll try that again. Oh, now it's happy. That's pretty snappy. I gotta trim that to the right, I can already tell. That's close enough in the static version. This one's for you, Benjamin. I don't know if Benjamin is a subscriber or not. I don't really look at that. If somebody wants me to do something, I'll try to do it. Subscriber or no. That's pretty peppy. If you can see the lights on it or not, we'll get it a little closer in a second. I'm not going to put a GPS on it today. I'm guessing 20-something-ish, maybe, just under 20. And I'm going to say you could probably run a 3S on this. I don't know that to be factually correct, so I'm not going to say you can. Yeah, it's got a low sun. We'll move over this way so we can see it a little better. If it rolls over under throttle. Yep, figured it might. Most of them do. If you let off the throttle and turn, it turns pretty snappy without rolling over. So Whoa! Yeah, it's pretty close to 20 miles an hour, I'm thinking. And I think a little tuning on the steering will make it easier to drive. It's hard to trim if you're going, if you're not on the throttle or off the throttle all the way, it goes pretty straight. But you get on the throttle, it has a tendency to make it turn to the right, which is it's lifting the left wheel off, so it's steering with the right front. I tricked my photographer. And the shocks don't have any oil in them. I've been told that you can either put oil in them or you can modify them to put oil in them. So we're going to go with that. And I probably will try this on a LiPo. Long term, what my plan is, I'm going to compare this one, the Pouncer, and the Feiyu. Can you see the lights in there? The headlights? Okay. I'm going to compare the three of these cars, and you can see how much the front end is towed out. So as soon as it lifts that left front tire off, it steers with this one and wants to kind of veer to the right a little bit. But I'm going to build a 3-cell lithium-ion battery using 3 18650s. They'll fit in the battery compartment just fine. I will try this on a 2-cell LiPo, and most likely I'll try it on a 3-cell LiPo. So Benjamin, I at this point I don't know. I like the front end on this one a little better. Well, I'll get the two cars together. I'll go back inside. I'll get the two cars together so that it's a little more obvious what I'm talking about. Anyway, turn off the car first, then turn off the radio. And the mode switch does absolutely nothing, so it's probably used on a different vehicle. Anyway, I'll catch you guys back inside. I wish I could zoom this out just a tiny bit more, but I can't. Here's both of the cars. This is the Pouncer, and this is the Across. You see the metal skid plate, no metal skid plate. The A-arms look to be identical on both cars, so I'm pretty sure those are interchangeable. This one, the Pouncer, you've got, let's see if I can get an angle on them here. Got U-joints in the front and the telescopic drives on both sides on the front. On the Across, you got the CVDs, which by their nature, they don't need telescope. They telescope, get my pointer stick. They telescope in and out of this little groove right here. So you can see that. They both have horizontal front shocks. So appearance-wise, it looks to me like the steering is exactly the same. The differentials are the same. The rear drive shaft, you've got U-joints on the Pouncer with a telescopic drive shaft, and you've got this one also has a telescopic drive shaft, but it's got the CVDs in the back. So I tend to like the CVDs better than the U-joints. That's pretty much it. It's Oh, the other thing is this one has the Across has a switch on the bottom. It seems to me I've seen a newer version of this maybe that's got the switch inside, or maybe it's the Wltoys that has a switch inside. I just don't know. Other than that, this one is on the back of the seat here, so it's to me it's better shielded from dirt than the Wltech Across. Top speed, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the pinion gear is in this one. I'm inclined to think that the Pouncer is a little bit faster. It does not have the LED lights in it. It's set up so that you could put them on there. This same light assembly would fit onto this one. So I can't really recommend one over the other. I will put the different batteries in them and run all three of them, and I'll run the GPS on the tops of them and see what I can come up with in terms of top speeds. So, and I'm going to leave this with the stock pinion against this one. If I can figure out what this is, would be an asset. I may have to take the car apart to count the teeth. We'll just see what happens. One other thing I just noticed, I was getting ready to pull the batteries and charge them back up, but the Pouncer, the tires appear to be glued on. There's no although those are hexes, so before I make myself stupid, let me check this out. Went out and verified. These are just plastic glue-on pieces. I don't know. I don't even know if these tires are changeable on this. This is on the Pouncer. The way these things are put on here, and I'll show you the Across. The ring actually comes off, and well, you can see the little dimples in there in the bead. Now that it's glued on, that's why I don't know if this one will come off or not. But if you look on the ring, come on, you can see what made all those little dimples in the sidewall of the tire. So these appear that they are glued on, but it appears that they put it on there, glue it, and then this actually does appear to function as somewhat of a bead lock, and they are on the inside also. I will say they use Phillips screws, and the supplied screwdriver did take them out, but it required a lot of pressure not to slip, so it's not really the right size, and I won't use it to put them back in. That's without taking these things off, it does appear that these are actually bead locks. This is the screwdriver that came with the car. Let's see if I can get that to not beat up the camera. This is the size that actually fits those screws. Didn't really need to do that. I just wanted to turn that up to high speed and make a funny noise. So appreciate everybody indulging me. If you want to see what the speed tests and stuff turn out on these cars, I'm going to do that reasonably soon. So subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll let you know what's going on when I get a result. Okay, Benjamin, I don't know if that really answered your question or not. I can't say that without actually running both of the cars together, doing a speed test, I can't tell you which one's the fastest. They both handle
really close to the same. I don't think there's much difference at all between those two cars. As an entry-level car, I think either one of them, you can get both of them for under $100. I don't have any sponsors. I don't have any coupon links, but I'm confident you can find either one of those cars under 100. The most stable car that I've got so far is the S920 Judge, and that's made by GP Toys. And I've already got a video with that in there, so if you want to take a look at that one. And I've run it on 3S, and I've pounded it pretty hard on a 3S LiPo and not broken it yet. And it is a lot more stable in turns. You can actually turn it under power. You can roll it over, but it's a lot more difficult. It's basically just as wide as it is long front to back. So and the other one that's real stable is a Dune Thunder. It's probably the slowest of all of them. I'm going to say it's in the 18 miles an hour, and it runs on a pair of 18650 batteries, 2 independent batteries. One goes on either side of the car. That is a plus for some people because you can pick up decent 18650 cells. And if you want to see that, I've got I guess probably my second video. I did it specifically on 18650 batteries. So anyway, Benjamin, if you have any more questions, throw them at me and I'll see if I can answer them. Everybody have a great day, and I'll catch you guys down the road.